Do you wish you knew exactly how to write a sales post to attract soulmate clients using the most powerful gifts from your astrology chart? Well, guess what? Now you can learn how for free. I'm going to share my cosmic copywriting secrets that have helped people to instantly turn strangers on the internet into buyers for their high-ticket offers. In my 5-part training series, Cosmic Attraction Copywriting, you'll learn the mindset switch that takes my clients from feeling confused about their content or not feeling fully safe to share their story online to making sales more easily and naturally than ever before, with the astrological placement that unlocks a new level of depth in your storytelling that builds trust 10 times faster with the clients who are genuinely a very aligned fit to work with you. Plus, the messaging tweaks that take my clients from attracting people who can't afford it to easy sales into 5-figure offers with no sales calls. And you'll get clarity on the 3 things your soulmate clients need to hear from you consistently in your message to feel confident and excited to buy your offer. You'll also get my writing process prompts to share your story in a powerful way that stands out to the right people and leads to ready to buy clients popping up into your DMs asking to work with you. Click the link in the description for instant access to Cosmic Attraction Copywriting. This is Sarah Mack and welcome to Creative Magic Club. Together, we'll discover inspirational stories of creative entrepreneurs living out their dreams, doing the work they are most passionate about, and building wealth in magical and fun ways. While building a 6-figure income as a writer and coach, helping other women to launch their dream businesses, I've connected with so many incredible people and seen it proven again and again that you can thrive financially doing whatever it is you are passionate about. I'm here to share life-changing strategies for mindset, making money, and reaching more people with your work in a business and life filled with creativity, freedom, and fun. Hi, Sarah Mack here. Welcome to the Creative Magic Club podcast, your place to become a 6-figure creative by filling your high-ticket offer using authentic storytelling guided by astrology. So I have landed on this magic formula to book podcast guest speaking spots, and I want to share it with you to help you to get your message out there, to grow your audience, attract more super aligned clients, and have an amazing time doing it with incredible podcast hosts who are just going to grow your community filled with even more awesome people. So I'm calling this my chill anti-hustle, not traditional marketing approach to podcast guesting that has grown my audience by hundreds just in this last year and has led to me booking 20 guest podcasting appearances in the past 3 months alone. Here's a few things that I've tried that did not work for me. Maybe you've tried this too. I've tried writing a templated email that my VA sent out to the emails of podcast hosts that she had researched and put in a spreadsheet. We even had a follow-up strategy. Never really worked well for me. But what has consistently worked well for me, that can take as little as 5 to 10 minutes to book a guest podcasting spot with no fancy spreadsheets or follow-up protocols, that has booked me 20 guest speaking gigs on podcasts within the past 3 months alone. This is what I've been doing. And I will add, I have not paid for a single feature. So first off, I start with people already in my network who have podcasts. Probably you know a few people, you've come across them. We all know people who have a podcast these days. So start there. This is like your warm network. Then as I come across people who have podcasts on Instagram, usually people are saying they have a podcast in their bio these days. So it's really easy to notice when people have podcasts. I simply screenshot their profile on my phone. Then I set myself the challenge of pitching to just one person daily. And I add this to my daily habit tracker that I keep in my planner. I use a passion planner. And I have these little like sticky habit tracking tapes that I put in like the blank section, and I write out all of my daily things that I want to move through. So when it comes to the end of the day, and I haven't done this, which is usually the case, I simply look in my photos for the last person that I screenshot. I go to their profile on Instagram, I check out their page, and I look to see that we have compatibility in our audiences. And obviously check to see if they're submitting guests or if they, what information I can glean from a quick glance. And I look for ways that my story and my work can add value to their work and community. Then I send a 1 to 2 minute voice note. I say hi and introduce myself. I let them know what I love about their work or their vibe or what they're up to. And then I let them know that I think there's crossover in our work and our audiences. Then I suggest a topic that I think would add value, or I give them a couple of different options of things that I could speak on, obviously focusing on the main topics that I want to be known for in my brand. And I let them know that I'm happy to brainstorm ideas that would fit with their programming and that I would love to book a time to be interviewed if they'll have me on their show. And this just works. This is how I book all of my interviews these days. And even if it's a no, I've still made a new connection with someone that I'm excited to have in my network. So it's really a win-win situation. So this is really the key part of why this strategy works, is the brand values and mission alignment. Because when you stand for and are working towards similar things, it just becomes an easy yes. Beyond someone, like no podcast guest has the same top desire as you, right? Your top desire is to reach new audiences, to add value and attract people who would be good fit clients for your offer. This is why we do this, right? It's the primary intention. But the secondary intention that you both share is the impact and the mission of your work, right? Why do we show up and share podcast material? Why do we create content? The ultimate goal is to help people. And that is something that we all connect on. So look for those common themes of how your work helps people and how their work helps people, and look for those intersections, because that's really the pitch that you're making. You're not saying, hey, will you help me fill my offer? Even though there's really nothing wrong with that. And you can absolutely offer, affiliate referrals for any clients that come through them. I think that's awesome too. I personally have never really done that as a part of my pitching process, but I'm totally open to it if people ask me about it. So your job is really to sell them on how you coming on their podcast is going to help their audience to get what they want, because that is ultimately going to add value to increase the credibility and the popularity of your podcast. And knowing that when you come to somebody's podcast, they're going to tag you, you're going to reshare that, their show is going to get visibility in front of your audience too. So that's why it's so important to focus on the alignment and the crossover of your audiences. And one of the key phrases, I guess I've used this when I'm pitching guests. Like if I want a guest to come on my show, something that I'll say is, these are all the things about you and your story that are really going to resonate with my clients, or with my audience. And I know that my audience will be really into your work. So that's kind of what you're going to be pitching when you are pitching a podcast host to bring you on, is here are the parts of my story that are really going to empower or educate your clients. I would love to come and share this to help them to reach the goals of your podcast. What are the impact goals of their podcast, and how can you specifically connect what you want to share, what you want to talk about, to helping their audience to reach the goals of their podcast? This is essentially like the value proposition of this whole conversation that's going to make you an easy yes and going to get them excited about it, right? So the more closely you align with the values and the goals, and when I talk about brand, what I mean is, so for example, my podcast is Creative Magic Club. So if anybody uses the word club or the word magic, or they're talking about money, or they're talking about brand, or they're talking about astrology, I'm like, okay, we have a keyword match. And that just, to me, it says so much about the person, about their vibe, and about their community, right? So that's what helps me to make really, really quick decisions. And that's really the benefit of having a really well thought out, authentic and potent and clear brand and brand message, because it helps people be an instant yes or an instant no. Like when I started using the word witch in my branding coach at the time was like, this could turn a lot of people off. And when I thought about that, I was like, yeah, that's true. But I want to work with the type of people who are turned on by the word witch. And I've had a conflicting relationship with the word witch because my brother used to tease me about it. And obviously witches haven't had the greatest branding in the cultural zeitgeist. But you know, it's one of those words that I think magical women are just reclaiming. And so in the reclaiming of that, I am suddenly an easy yes for all of the other humans out there who resonate with what that word represents and what we're reclaiming it around. And, you know, also showing that I get to express myself authentically while using that word, you know, and I'm reclaiming it in my own unique way. And I know that that is going to be an instant yes for people. That gives people so much information about me when the words that we choose when we're describing our work and we're titling our, you know, offers and podcasts and digital assets. So because I have a podcast, if I have space and I feel that the person I'm pitching meets my current criteria for my podcast guests, then sometimes I'll pitch a podcast swap. Like if I'm really excited to get them on, or I know they're going to bring a perspective that I really want to have on my podcast. And sometimes even if I don't pitch a swap, people will come back and ask for a swap. And if it's aligned, I'll agree to that too. So right now, I've recorded my monthly podcast guest spots on my own show through until about March next year. And my primary intention is to bring on guests who want to talk about astrology and who have astrology-friendly audiences for many reasons. Number one, I'm obsessed with talking about astrology, and these interviews are really the most fun for me. And number two, I know that entrepreneurs who are into astrology really are my ideal client. So I want to save those spots for people whose audiences align with these primary values in my brand and my business. So if I'm not currently booking guest interviews, I'll often offer to go live to share someone's work with my Instagram audience if I feel it's something that would be relevant and interesting. So how do I keep momentum with this? Really how I've created momentum with absolutely everything in my life that I've created consistency around, I create accountability. So if I'm in a mastermind, I'll use that. Or I'll just recruit a biz bestie or an entrepreneur friend who has the same goals, and we'll send a celebratory text or emoji every time we pitch. And this inspires each of us to keep going. Sometimes I'll get in the flow and I'll be like, oh, I'll just send one more, and I'll just send one more, and I'll send like 5 pitches at once. And then spend the rest of the week just, you know, responding and following up when people are replying. So it really never takes more than 10 to 30 minutes on one day. And I can do as much or as little as I want to, keeping my intention to keep that momentum going. I think it's so much more powerful to do a little every day to keep that momentum going versus like, I mean, you definitely can pitch a whole bunch at once, but you have to make sure, obviously, that you're in your DMs and you're checking and you're following up. I think the key to succeeding at this is that I keep it so simple and quick to execute. So I do have a spreadsheet with a list of potential podcasts that I would be a good fit for that I got a VA to research for me. And I will continue to add them. Like if I'm sitting down and I'm looking through my photos, or I've taken a lot of photos of people who have podcasts that I could pitch to, I will update them into that spreadsheet. The main thing is to be pitching, because ultimately I can check on whether or not I need to follow up by just skimming through my DMs. Obviously, there's quite a lot of activity going on in my DMs and Instagram. So if I want to make sure that I want to follow up with people who maybe didn't see it or didn't respond, then I can look back at the spreadsheet and I can then, you know, look up their Instagram handle and go and look up that person. And here's my approach to following up. If they didn't see it, or they saw it and they didn't respond, I'll just write, like, hey, just bumping this. Wanted to make sure you saw this. Hey, just checking in. Did you get a chance to listen to my voice note? Would love to connect, right? And I'm really very unattached. Like, if someone doesn't respond after that, I'm probably just going to let it go and move on, because there's so many easy yeses out there. There's so many people. I don't need to be hounding and chasing people. And I trust the timing, and I trust the flow of what's easy and the path of least resistance. The second thing that I think really supports my momentum and my success in this is really having a clear intention, which is very simple. It's usually to book 4 to 5 interviews per month. Although last month I set the intention to book 10 just for fun. And here's what happened. And this does start to happen no matter how big or small my goal is, which is I activate the guest speaking invitation vortex. And I start to manifest invitations out of nowhere from people I had no idea were even in my network. People start to pop up in my DMs. And this is when I'm focused on this. Like, this happens from time to time when I'm not focused on this, but when I've set the intention and I've decided I want to guest speak on an interview on other people's platforms, it's like the universe is like, oh, she's submitted her request. She clearly has absolutely no resistance around this. So let's just send her opportunities. Let's make it easy. And obviously I'm doing my part. You know, I'm pitching, I'm reaching out, I'm making connections, I'm following new people on Instagram, I'm messaging them, but it just kind of like amplifies, and more opportunities start to flow in. And, you know, this can also come in the form of guest speaking in other people's paid programs, in free summits, bundle giveaways, community live streams, as well as guest podcasting spots. And this has been happening a lot lately, and I've grown my audience by hundreds of people this year doing this. And as someone who has had a long-standing kind of a grudge about how slow my audience growth has been, I really decided to turn this around this year. Well, you know what? The first thing I did was I stopped complaining about it. And I really, got into the story of like, no, your audience is growing and you have the power to turn that up. And now it's so fun when people tell me that they discovered me on someone else's podcast, and I get so many emails from new listeners on my own podcast who are loving my work and who are excited to work with me. And my podcast downloads have doubled from the previous 12-month period. So in next week's episode, I'm going to talk about what astrological transits you can watch out for to leverage for cosmic audience growth. And I'm going to share what's been going on for me too, and what you can watch out for in your own chart. And there's so many pockets of opportunity that we can really leverage. So if you love my simple, fun, easy to execute approach to pitching, and you love the idea of doing it in alignment with your astrological transits, or even if this all feels kind of new and awkward to you and you're looking for some support with crafting powerful pitches, this is exactly the work we get to go in depth with together inside my Cosmic Copy Mastermind. I help clients to position and launch podcasts as well as high ticket offers, and to pull out the most impactful stories that not only attract dream clients, but help them to build to 6-figure brands that make it so obvious what their unique magic is and how they help the kinds of clients who really are ready for transformation and excited to invest in a high ticket container. Pitching yourself and sharing your story is super vulnerable and courageous, especially doing it online. And it changes the world, and it changes your life when you build the muscle that makes it easy to use this skill to reach people, to sign clients, and to grow your impact and income. It's a life-changing skill that can make all of your dreams come true. So commit to it, keep tweaking it, and find the way that works for you. I'm here to support you with that if you need it. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram at SarahMacMagic. And if you loved this episode or you have any questions that you would like me to answer on an upcoming episode, please do reach out to me on Instagram at SarahMacMagic. And definitely stay tuned, because I have a really, really epic 3-part high ticket marketing series coming up on the show, where I'm going to share my 5-figure offer high ticket sales script for coaches and creative entrepreneurs. Then part 2 will be how I built a high ticket client attraction system using my astrology chart. And then part 3 will be how to find high ticket clients with my top 3 astrology branding planets. Thank you so much for listening. Please share this episode with anyone who you know will benefit from it. If you haven't left a review already on iTunes, please go and do that to support the show, and I will love you forever. Thank you so much for being here, sending you so much love, and see you next week. Bye.